happy I'm in this situation. What do I do with the money? I'm like, that's up for you to figure out. All I can do is give you some options for you to further research down the road in terms of what's best for you. And that's where you hire a financial planner if you so desire. But my hands are kind of tied. And there's only a handful bits of advice I can tell you to follow that would then have no legal liability, like paying off your debts. Because there's no way you're going to get into financial trouble paying off your debts. I also, and this is going to be on the list, get good skills, especially if you're younger. Now, if you were 80, I went, well, you should go back to school for computer engineering. But if you're a younger person, I could pretty much say one of the best things for you to consider, seriously, and probably would be number one, is to get good skills, because you got your life ahead of you. You're going to be working, and having good skills is automatically got a hedge against inflation built into it. Dentists don't worry about inflation. They just charge more. So but beyond that, I can't say, oh, you ought to buy X numbers of shares in the XYZ corporation. That's a financial advisor. So the best I can do is give you a list of things that you can invest in, but you have to conduct the research further. Say, should I invest in this one? Should I invest in these things? So here's the question. Here's my general diluted advice. Dear fake, small person, goofy ass looking leprechaun. I'm a 23-year-old in Ireland, born to well-off parents and still living at home. I have 50,000 euro for summer jobs. I worked since I was 16 years old. I want to invest this to make the most of my very lucky situation. Into a car. No, okay. Here's another thing I can tell you not to do. You don't invest in cars. Cars are not an investment. They don't go up in value. They go down. They're consumable. They're consumer asset. It goes down. That's not an investment. That is not an car. Boy, it's not you. It's just every boy out there. It was myself included. Guys, okay, here's another bit of free advice I can give you boys. Stop pissing away your money on cars you can't afford. If you pay cash for cars instead of the modern day financing and brand new, if you just don't buy brand new cars, right? And you buy affordable transportation instead, ever so roughly, you will save over the course of your life 3/4 of a retirement. Very generally, women piss away their money and youth on worthless college degrees. You men piss away your money and youth on cars. No cars. Get a car, good sensible transportation, but it is not an investment. That is not an investment, and it does not get you the girls. Knock it off with the cars. No capes. Stocks, retirement, emergency fund. What's the best way to split this money? Also, how far ahead am I of the average Joe? Well, you were born to rich parents. You're way far ahead than the average Joe. And how quickly can it fall apart if I do not pay attention? That money can be taken from you in a day. It will be taken from you in a day. So I would be very guarded of it. And we're going to get to that. The savings I made is not due to me being a self-aware person, but more due to me not spending money on clothes, concerts, etc. And cars. I'm a fairly lazy person. I don't know how you work summer jobs. You saved up money, blah, blah, blah. You a Kuwanta haha. How much for a video request? Yours truly, Irish Kuwanta haha lad. All right, so here we go. The first thing is not going to be what should you spend your money on. The first thing is how to make sure you don't fuck this up. Right? It is how not to lose your money, because you're young, you're a boy, and you're stupid, and everyone out there is going to want that money. All right, so the first rule, you don't tell anyone you got the money. Never tell anyone you got that money, because if you do, people are going to want you to spend that money on them. And then we want to be popular, we want to have parties, you want to be with the girls. You're going to piss away your money. It's going to be away. Because literally what you have right now, if you invest it wisely, you're good for retirement. You won't have to worry about retirement because you're so young. So if you just drop that into a diversified portfolio, I don't know what that is. I don't know what the underlying assets are. That's where a financial planner would come in. But if you invested it in a diversified portfolio and it earned an expected rate of return or compounded over what? 50 years, you're set. Your retirement should be set, not accounting for financial crises and, oh my God, the socialism, it's so great. Where's the food? So you got a tremendous and great opportunity here. You would never have to worry about retirement planning if you invest this wisely. That means you can't piss it away. You don't let anyone know you got it, and you sure the fuck don't lend it out, and you sure the fuck don't spend it to impress people. Take the money and buy freedom instead. Invest it, okay? That's not fun money. That's freedom money. Got it? All right, good. That's not the thing. So we got that. Still along in the realm, we haven't even got to where you invest this yet. We're just telling you not to fuck up. Okay. Do not get married. I don't know what the laws are like in Ireland. Maybe you could get married and not get graped in the ass. All right. But do not marry. Generally speaking, you can have a relationship, you can have committed love, you can have a monogamous relationship, you can have kids. Generally, though, and again, don't know about Irish divorce court, do not get married. Number 2 or 3, whatever we're on, the number 1 cause of poverty is having kids you can't afford. Do not get a girl pregnant. Now, I don't know if you want kids in the future. If you do, maybe a vasectomy is off the table, but for the love of God, make sure you use a condom and do not get a girl pregnant. You may not have to worry about that, though, if you don't let people know you got money, right? So Susie Q, or what's an Irish girl's name? I don't know. They're not coming to Molly. Well-endowed Molly. Molly doesn't know you got $50,000 saved up. Oopsie, Molly forgot to take the birth control pill. Oopsie, Molly's preggers, and you're driving a piece of shit car because you listen to me. And Molly looks at you and says, oh, Seamus, his name ain't Seamus. Seamus, oh, he's poor. He's not I better go get an abortion. Meanwhile, she doesn't know that you've saved up all your money. You're fucking loaded. All right? So, but if you, oh, yeah, I saved money. I worked hard. I invested. I'm worth $250,000 right now. Oopsie, I'm preggers, and I decided I actually am Irish Catholic now, and I am going to keep the child because God. Money, please. Shit, I ain't got no money. So is that do not major in dumb shit. It's more for you girls than it is for you boys, but 60% of the time you boys major in dumb shit. Don't go to college for dumb shit. Do not buy dumb shit. Like concerts or clothes or cars that you don't need. And that should be it. That covers the do not fuck it up category, right? You don't tell no one. You never lend it to anyone. You don't flash it and you don't spend it. This is your freedom fund. You never you do not get yourself in a financial or familial situation where you got to pay child support or alimony. Follow me so far? Okay, good. From here, it's kind of ho-hum and boring, all right? The very first thing you should do is have a micro FU fund, which is listed at minimum as 3 years living expenses. Now, you live at home, so it's a pretty small fund, but I would imagine what would it take for you to live 3 months paying your own rent? Because the day's going to come, you're going to move out of the house. You're going to have to deal with some kind of boomer boss or a Gen X boss more modernly. They're going to play the fuck around and dick around with you game. You do not want to be in a position where you need to hold on to an abusive job because you did not have 3 to 6 months saved up. I would say 6 months living expenses, I guess roughly 10,000 euros, roughly. But that is the number one thing you need to have is a micro FU fund. So there's that. The next thing I would say is good skills. Now, you may not know what you want to become, but good skills is usually the best investment for a young person because you have yet to work the majority of your hours. And if you skill up now, you increase all those, you do the number one thing to increase your income, the maximum amount for your entire working life. So it's really hard to You're like, yeah, okay, if you knew to invest in Apple in 1984, sure, you probably may, but it's really hard to beat investing in good skills when you're younger. So if you're looking at becoming a dentist, or I'm trying to think what I'm assuming the same things in Ireland are in equal demand as they are here in the US. So a dentist, engineer, programmer, if you're more in Ireland, a potato grower. I don't know. Are potatoes still big after the famine? Uh, what is it that pays well in Ireland and maybe even globally? Again, we got a course called The World's Greatest Accounting Career. Wouldn't be the worst thing to become an accountant either. If you're interested in that course, The World's Greatest Accounting Career, it's available on Teachable. It just talks about careers in accounting. It doesn't qualify you for anything. It just gives you an evaluation like, oh, these are things to consider. But whatever, that's going to take a while for you to figure out. But go back to the don't fuck up stage. Do not major in dumb shit. So that's why I put the majority of your time and focus is evaluating what you want to do in life. And then like, oh, I want to become a mechanic. I want to become a dentist. All right, that's not the worst use of your money to go pay for tuition and training, because that's going to increase your wages for the rest of your life. Now, associated with good schools or good skills, asterisk, footnote, maybe that requires good tools. And what immediately comes to mind, let's say you go become a carpenter or a mechanic. Buying a good set of tools, that's not the worst thing, especially if you're in that field, because you will save time and money. Just simple little computer tools I use. I've repaired enough computers, minor repairs, nothing dramatic, but new battery or new CPU or whatever. It's I think I spent $20 on little screwdrivers. I bought myself a simple tool set. What was it? Milwaukee. That has helped me fix up. I inherited kind of a tool set that allowed, but air compressor if you're more the mechanic route, power tools if you're more the carpenter route. I got a little bit of a mix of both, and I've easily saved the money on the money I spent on my tools. That says a hobbyist. That says your average American homeowner. If you are a tradesman, yeah, tools, be able to do it yourself. But that's more of a footnote. And then there's really only two things after that left for you to invest that amount of money in. And that'd be your retirement or a home. So it's going to fall into one of two categories: a down payment fund, like you're going to invest in a down payment type of fund and earmark that money to buy a home at a future date, or you just toss it into a retirement fund, a diversified retirement fund, whatever Ireland's version of that is, and you just let it sit and ride and grow over the course of the years. What are the underlying investments in those funds? I cannot tell you that. That require a financial planner. But I can tell you, when it comes to a real estate fund, it's probably going to be diversified, a little bit of stocks, a little bit of mutual funds, maybe some bonds. You're probably, I don't know if you can invest in Ireland in real estate investment trusts. Those follow real estate. So some people are recommending, okay, if it's, you're going to use that for a down payment on the house, you should invest in real estate, not an actual physical piece of real estate, but a real estate investment trust, which is essentially a mutual fund of real estate properties. And as prices go up and down, your real estate investment trust goes up and down, maintaining the purchasing power for a down payment. So people are, oh, but the real estate investment trust went down. Yes, so did the price of the property you're probably going to buy. It is not meant to go up. It is meant to keep pace with the inflation of property, right? That's one option for you to consult a certified financial planner about. That's one option. The other option is you just toss it into a diversified retirement fund. Cappy, what's the diversified retirement fund consist of? That's what you talk to a certified financial planner about. Or you can do self-education, your own research, find out, oh, I can figure this out myself. You do your own research, not me. And then you throw your money into a diversified retirement fund, and it grows over the course of your life. And then all of a sudden 68 or however old Irishmen live up to 47. When was the expected life expectancy? I'm kidding. We thought with the last name Claire, we thought we were Irish all the time. Turned out we're barely Irish. It was the Scandinavians that came in and pillaged and had fun with the lady folk. Like, oh, you're Scandinavian. Shit. I don't hate myself modernly enough to be a Scandinavian. I just like myself too much. You're no true Nord if you don't hate yourself like the good Minnesotans, don't you know? Anyway, so that's now very simply, this is just what I'm going to forecast. In your particular case, I would really be looking at good skills and an education. That's where I would be probably focusing the money. All right. And you may not use it all. There might be an 18-month program for you to become a welder or whatever. You're not going to go through the $50,000 or 50,000 euros. Real estate, you're too young. Do you know where you want to live? Do you even want to own a house? That's another thing. You still got time to go work and you got to go find a job and a career, live life, chase girls, get shot down, travel to Europe because you just hop over the thing. I like your trains. Oh, hey, I'm in Italy. Yay, there's Jack Napier, wave. I don't think you're ready for a house right now. It wouldn't be unwise. Maybe split it a little bit. Oh, someday I'd like to buy property. So why not toss 10,000 on skills, 10,000 dedicated to a down payment fund, and another 20,000 in a retirement fund. That's okay. You could spread it about like that. But right now, until you may never even own a home. You may just like, nah, man, I don't want kids. It's okay. I'm just going to rent a place. Your parents may just be okay with you living at the house forever. You inherit the house. You're okay with it. I'd be a little reluctant to start squirreling away money for a down payment on a house when I'm so young and you're very unlikely to buy a house in 5 years. But better than buying a brand new car. And so, just what would be real easy. You want to knock hang on, let me just do you want to knock one thing out, toss it into a diversified retirement fund and be done with retirement. Like you never got to worry about that shit again. Let me just take a look. How old are you? You are 23. We're not going to do Democrat retirement. We're going to do real American, real person contributing member. We're going to assume you're going to work till 70 minus 23. That gives you 47 years. Let's do compound math calculator. All right. Okay, years 47% yield. I'm going to back out inflation of this because I don't know what European inflation is. I'm just going to assume you're going to have a 7% rate of return. Okay. You probably have more with inflation. The initial balance, you got 50,000 euro. Monthly contribution, 0. Okay. So with a 7% rate of return, no inflation, in today's dollars, you would have $1.3 million. Assuming things continued the way they were, you have to pay attention to that as time goes on. But yeah, you're pretty much taken care of. If you just threw it into a diversified retirement fund and you got 7%, which is reasonable, it's expected. Again, talk to a certified financial planner. You don't have to worry about it. That's a very big part of your finances if not the biggest part of your finances taken care of is retirement planning. And then you won't be a boomer. Come on, baby, light my fire. Or light my whiskey. Whatever it is in Ireland, I don't know. Yeah, you're in a real good position. I can't tell you what to invest in, but think about that. You don't have to worry about retirement if you don't want to. Are you going to give up that freedom and that life of lack of worry and calm and good sleep? Or are you going to go chase tail with a brand new car? See the difference? So that's what I would consider. I can't say what I would do. That's what I would consider among the other ones. And then Micro FU fund. Yeah, that's kind of important. I'd do that first. Good skills, evaluate your skills. Yeah. And then either real estate, funding for real estate, or retirement. There you are. All right. Link below, Bachelor Pad Economics, the financial advice Bible for men and women who are bold enough to read it. That is linked below. Helps you through all your major and minor financial decisions throughout life, starting at the age of 14 to death. Justify Basagany, $2, public or private sector job. Which one would you take? Probably public sector. They're going to be shit either way. The private sector job is going to be a bunch of corporal MBA dick suckers, and then public is going to be boring political horseshit. You could have arguably said the private sector would have made you more money back in the day and was not as politicized, but now it's the same. Who's paying more? It's the same 8 hours you're giving up, Justified. Same 8 hours. You're never getting it back. Who's paying you more? That's all that matters right now. Ross the Skunk, $5. When it comes to tools, buy the basics first and good quality. Yes, good quality tools. Yes. Then buy the specialized tools as you need them. Yep. Yeah, I had to get you screw it in, test pressure in a chamber in your engine. You screw it in, just like a spark plug. Oh, there's no compression in my cylinder. It's cracked. All right, that's it. Questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. See you guys later. Toodles.